7:41 now. Monday was full of surprises in the murder trial of Alex Murdaugh, the once prominent attorney from the Lowcountry.
The day proving that while we are a few years removed from 2020, COVID is still around and making an impact. Our very own Haley Spittler joining us now with everything that you need to know from day 16 of the Murdaugh trial.
The Murdaugh murder trial is starting week 4 with a jury shakeup. This as 2 jurors and the clerk of court test positive for COVID-19. While the state and defense are worried about more jurors testing positive, the trial is continuing on with masks and social distancing optional. This as new evidence is discussed and sealed autopsy photos revealed. And joining me again this morning to offer her expert insight is attorney Lori Murray, our trial analyst. Lori, let's start at the beginning of the day. 2 jurors tested positive for COVID. Why do you think the judge denied both the state's and the defense's request to delay the trial?
I think the judge is ready, like all of us, to get this thing done. It's been dragging on for so long because the state is putting so much evidence in. So he's ready to get it done. We're in South Carolina. You know, we don't actually mask and mandate closing down. So he was not having it yesterday.
Now, are you concerned about running out of jurors? I know that was kind of the fear of the state and the defense. We started with 6 alternates. Now we're down to 3.
I'm absolutely concerned with running out of jurors. We have the 3 alternates left. You'd be surprised at the things that can cause a juror to be disqualified and to need that extra alternate juror to come in. So yeah, I'm worried about it. I think that everybody should be worried about it at this point. If one more person tests positive, then I think we have to really look at shutting down for a couple of days.
Let's talk about that new evidence that came in last week. It was discussed without the jury present yesterday. What came in and how are both parties feeling about it?
Well, the evidence is that on Friday, there was some new GMC OnStar evidence that previously was unable to be found back in March. And then all of a sudden, GM came in and said on Friday that they had found this OnStar location data for Alex Murdaugh's truck. Both parties have received the information. The state says that it's just going to verify their timeline, but it will give us like rate of speed that he was traveling to his mom's. I think those are kind of some important things to look at. I think both parties are okay with it coming in. They just want time to actually evaluate the information that they have because it's apparently a lot.
Now, a forensic pathologist took the stand Monday. What were the most important moments for you from the state's questioning of her regarding the autopsies of Maggie and Paul?
Well, she was a really good witness. I know that it seems like she enjoyed her job a little bit too much, but she's probably the first witness that actually broke it down into terms that the jury could understand, which made her a great witness. The most surprising things for me were that both Paul and Maggie were shot close range, face-to-face with their killer within 2 to 3 feet. I had previously thought that Maggie had been shot from the back, at least sparing her that knowledge, but no, both of them were shot close range, 2 to 3 feet from their shooter. Other thing that she said was that their stomach contents both were looking the same. So it looked like they had just eaten a full meal. So we do know at least that part of Alex Murdaugh's alibi is actually true.
We also heard about some DNA that was found underneath Maggie's fingernail. Can you talk to me about that?
That was one of the most surprising things that happened yesterday, and all of that boring testimony about the DNA, and maybe they tried to bury this fact in there, but you can bet the defense picked it up. But underneath Maggie's fingernails, there was her DNA, the DNA of an unknown male, and the DNA of C.B. Rowe, who is the caretaker of the property. And she just had a manicure and a pedicure on her way into Moselle that day, so it's really difficult to figure out how C.B. Rowe especially, and who's the unknown male, but how did his DNA get underneath her fingernails?
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us again this morning, Lori. Court is set to resume here in less than 2 hours. That's when the defense will cross-examine Dr. Ellen Reimer. That is the forensic pathologist. Don't forget, you can watch the trial inside the Fox Carolina News app. That can be streamed on Roku, Apple, and Fire TV. We also have a live blog and live chat on our website. We're showing you what that looks like here, so you can catch up on anything you missed or chime in. This, again, is on foxcarolina.com. And Lori Murray will be joining us every weekday right around 7:40 throughout the entirety of the Murdaugh trial. Make sure and tune in each morning to hear her main takeaways from the day before, as well as what else to look out for coming up in the trial.
Now your Fox Carolina First Alert weather.
7:46 now. Happy Valentine's Day,